Hello, viewers. Today is the start of a new series where I read ceiling fan manuals. This one I'm going to be reading today is for the Harbor Breeze Cedar Cheval ceiling fan with 5 blades and a light kit. So let's get the model numbers. See what this one is. Oh, so that's the white one, huh? That's one and another of bronze. That's one without the light kit. Well, let's just start rating. Let's start with the package contents. Downrod, downrod pin, downrod clip, mounting bracket, canopy cover, motor assembly, switch housing cap, hood, light kit, finial cap, finial, yoke cover, bow, glass bow, cap, blade arm is what it says, but I call it blade iron. Blade, motor screw, 10, plus one extra, so that's 11. From here to there's 1, that's 2, and there's 5 there. Mounting bracket screw, 4 of those, X nut, 1. Rubber washer, Phillips head, close mount screw, set screw, switch housing screw, adapter plate screw, blade balancing kit. Wire connector for blade screw 16, blade washer 16, rubber washer 16. Two, one for light, one for the fan, obviously. I'm not gonna bother reading any of that. Never even took me 120 minutes. Turn off circuit breakers and wall switch. I mostly turn off the wall switch. Determine the mounting method to use. Standard mounting is best suited for ceilings 8 foot or higher. For taller ceilings, you may want to use a longer down rod, not included. Angled style mounting is best suited for vaulted ceilings. Longer down rod is sometimes necessary to ensure proper blade clearance. Note if using angle mount, check to ensure angle is not steeper than 16 degrees. Close mount style mounting is more suitable for ceilings lower than 8 feet high. Flush mount installation is not available for this item. Flush mount, close mount, uh, I don't know what to say about that. I lost a few brain cells there. Ensure the blades will be at least 30 inches from any obstructions. Also check the downrod length to ensure the blades will be 7 feet from the floor. Loosen all 4 pre-assembled mounting bracket screws and completely remove 2 mounting bracket screws from the round holes of canopy set aside later for use. Detach mounting bracket from canopy, attach mounting bracket to outlet box using screws and washers provided with your outlet box. Just say this important one, I'm not going to bother reading that one. If using the angle mount, ensure the open end of the mounting bracket is installed facing the higher point of the ceiling. That is, I can agree on that one. Remove all 10 pre-assembled motor screws and 5 pre-assembled plastic motor blocks from the underside of the motor assembly. Discard motor blocks, of course, but keep the motor screws, of course, for later. For standard or angle mounting instruction, continue to page 9. For close mount instructions, proceed to page 11. And what is that? Seriously? The Harbor Breeze Cedar Shoals is not 4-5 blade compatible. Why did they even put those there? Huh, that's odd. I already lost 8 brain cells seeing this. So obviously there's 4 blades, and each blade has 2 screws in it. And 2 times 4 is 8, of course. So I lost 8 brain cells seeing that. Standard or angle mounting instructions. Remove the downrod pin. That's a downrod pin and a downrod clip. Right there. Partially loosen set screws and the top of the motor. That's supposedly the downrod yoke. Insert the downrod through the canopy and yoke cover. Huh? That doesn't make any sense. There goes another brain cell. Slide the downrod into the yoke of the motor assembly, align the holes, and reinstall the downrod clip and downrod pin. And of course, secure with the set screws. That way it doesn't wobble. Now this was back in 2021. Back when I was in my last year of middle school, in my condo room, there was this on the lanai out there, and there were 4 of those, so no loss of any brain cells there. Depending on the length of downrod you use, you may need to cut the lead wires to simplify the wiring. If you decide to cut back the lead wires, take the lead wires and make sure you pull them all the way through the top of the downrod. Measure at least 8 inches of wire, then cut the excess wire with wire cutters, wire strippers, etc. Yeah, of course. If you decided to cut back the lead wire in step 4, strip a ½ inch of insulation from the end of the white wire. How about all the wires? Yeah, of course. Lost like 4 brain cells there. Twist the stripped ends of each stranded wire within the insulation pliers not included. If you did not cut back the lead wires, it's not necessary. Install the ball end of the downrod into the opening of mounting bracket. That's very simple, of course. Line one of the four slots in the wall with the tab in the mounting bracket. And if, of course, if it's installed correctly, it shouldn't rotate. And I'm not gonna bother reading that. Close mount instructions. The down rod canopy cover and yoke cover are not used in this type of installation. Remove and discard the canopy cover. Really want to discard that? That could be useful for another ceiling fan in the future. Already lost some more brain cells there. Remove 3 Phillips head close mount screws from the top of the motor assembly. Line the canopy with the holes in the top of the motor assembly, then reinstall the Phillips head screws to ensure canopy is secure canopy to top of the motor assembly. That's not normally the way I do it. I normally just use the down rod. I just don't. I don't normally flush mount ceiling fans. Raise the fan and place canopy on the hook on the mounting bracket temporarily, leaving hands free for the wiring process. Another bit of wise advice would be to not hang the fan canopy on the hook by the J slot screw because it moves a little bit. It could fall down. You wouldn't want that, would you? You wouldn't bother reading that. That's just I'll just on here. Align the canopy over the loosened mounting bracket screws. Preassembled on the mounting bracket. Place the keels of the canopy onto the mounting bracket screws and rotate the canopy clockwise. Secure the canopy with mounting bracket screws previously removed. Tighten all mounting bracket screws securely, of course. Oh, now we're on to the fan blades. I really like the design of those blade irons and those blades. Partially insert the blade screws along with the blade washers and rubber washers through the blade and into the blade iron. Tighten each blade screw with a Phillips screwdriver, starting with the one in the middle, which supposedly is this one. Repeat this step for the remaining blades and blade irons. Right. Oh, here we go with that again. Well, there's 8 more brain cells gone. Install the blade arm to the underside of the motor with motor screws previously removed. Tighten with Phillips screwdriver. Repeat for each blade iron. Remove one of the adapter plate screws from the adapter plate and loosen. Do not remove the other 2 screws. Insert wires from the motor assembly through the hole in the switch housing. Then attach the switch housing to the adapter plate by twisting the switch housing until the loosened adapter plate screws engage the keyhole slots and the keyholes on the switch housing. Reinstall the third adapter plate screw into the closed hole. Huh? That doesn't make any sense. In the switch housing and securely tighten all three adapter plate screws. Connect the 9-pin connector from the fan to the 9-pin connector from the switch housing. Of course, all that stuff is for pull chain speed and then reverse and the wires that go out to the light kit. Note: if you wish to install a fan without the light kit, proceed to step 11. I personally like most ceiling fans with the light kit better. The light kit really complements the fan a lot better. That's why. To install the light kit, remove the pre-assembled finial cap, hex nut, and rubber washer from the light kit. Remove the 3 switch housing screws from the switch housing cap. That's the switch housing cap there. Then connect the single pin connector from the switch housing to the single pin connector from the light kit. Cool trade shooter, huh? That just goes through the light kit. Blue to black and white to white, of course. Feed the pull chain from the switch housing through the hole in the switch housing cap and down through the pre-assembled grommet on the lower part of the light kit, which supposedly is down there. Then secure the switch housing cap with light kit to switch housing using the previously removed switch housing screws. Ensure the hole for the pull chain located in the switch housing cap is aligned with the pull chain shooter when installing the light kit to the switch housing. Install the bulbs. That's easy, I don't need to go through that. Feed the pull chain coming from the center of the light kit through the center hole of the glass bowl. Feed the pull chain coming from the switch housing through the off-center hole in the glass bowl. Reinstall hex nut and rubber washer. Put the rubber washer first, then the hex nut. Get it right, goof. Feed the pull chains through the appropriate holes in the finial cap and the hole in the finial. Then lift the final cap up until it is flush with the glass bowl. Screw the finial onto the threaded rod of the light kit to secure. Attach the pull chain extensions to the fan light pull chains, or you can use custom ones that are not included with the ceiling fan. Light pull chain and fan pull chain. I like how they have it a fan and a light. That's a good way to know if you want to know which one's the light and which one's the fan. But something like that is easy enough for me without those extenders. To install fan without light kit, remove the 3 switch housing screws from the switch housing cap and attach the cap to the switch housing. Using the switch housing screws, attach the pull chain extension. Of course, the fan pull chain. Turn on power supply to the fan. Assembly is complete. Looking good there. Pull chain is 4 positions. Yeah, we know that. Although some have like, not all, some, like a Hunter Regalia, I think it was 60-inch, or like a 4-speed pull chain. Isn't that pretty interesting? The reverse switch is located on the switch housing. Yep, of course. Wait for the fan to stop before moving the reverse switch. I've I've flipped it when the fan was running and nothing ever happened. So why do that? I'm already losing some brain cells on that. And warmer weather push the reverse switch left. Right, which results in a downward airflow. Then the cooler weather goes the opposite direction, which goes right, going updraft. And the air hits the ceiling, goes right down the walls, and then back up again. And of course, it must be set completely left or completely right. That'd be a pretty funny prank to do on like on your friends or something. Hmm, that'll be something for me to do one of these days. At least twice each year, lower the canopy to check the down rod assembly and tighten all the screws on the fan. Clean the motor assembly with only a soft brush or lint-free cloth to avoid scratching the finish. Oh, you wouldn't want that, would you? Clean the blades with a lint-free cloth. Bulb replacement. Use 60-watt maximum E26 base LED CFL or incandescents. Halogen bulbs are not recommended. Ugh. I don't believe how much I hate those. I just can't remember how much I hate those. It's just that I kind of, between these two, I probably prefer the typical incandescent bulbs. The, the problem, troubleshooting. The fan does not move. The reverse switch is not engaged. The wall switch is turned off. Of course, turn it on. Of course, turn that on. There's a faulty wire connection. Check all the, turn the power off. Check all the connections at the ceiling outlet box. Firmly push the reverse switch completely left or right. Well, if the fan is noisy, the blades are loose. Check and tighten all screws that hold the fan, blades to the blade irons, and the motor. There's a cracked there's a cracked blade. Replace the cracked blade. Oof, imagine having such a beautiful fan with a cracked blade. That wouldn't be cool at all, would it? I know. The wall control is not compatible with the fan. Huh. Do not use a full range dimmer switch to control the fan speed. Right. Makes I've tried before makes really loud, obnoxious buzzing noises. I can't even sleep at night with that, and I'm sure you can't either. The outlet box is not secure. That's not good. Ensure the outlet box is secured to the building structure. Right. The mounting bracket is not secure. That's not good either. Ensure the mounting bracket is secured to the outlet box and that the screws are tight. And we continue on. There is excessive wobbling. Ooh. The blades or blade irons are loose. Not good. Check and tighten all screws in. Hold the fan blades to the blade arms and the blade irons to the motor. Blades are unbalanced. Switch one blade with a blade from the opposite side or balance the fan using the blade balancing kit. I don't normally use that with ceiling fans with reversible blades. I only did it fairly recently with my Hampton Bay Gazebo Plus, and that stopped the wobbling. Now it doesn't wobble as bad. Used to kind of wobble like an idiot, but it really doesn't anymore. The fan is too close to the vaulted ceiling. Huh. Use a longer down rod or move the fan to another location. Huh. Doesn't make any sense. The set screws on the motor assembly yoke is loose. Lift up the yoke cover and tighten the set screws on the yoke until secure. Maybe that was what they were referring to as yoke cover. Oh, God, I can't even talk today. My brain's just about to quit any minute now. The fan operates correctly, but the lights are not working. Bulbs are not installed correctly. Reinstall the bulbs. Simple as that. The light kit wire plugs are not connected properly. Ensure the plugs in the switch housing are connected properly. There's a faulty wire connection. Not good. Turn the power off and check all the connections at the ceiling outlet box. And I'm not going to I'm not going to rate any of that. The only thing I'll rate here is a small amount of wobble is normal and should not be considered a defect. Right. And because why not? I'll show these parts here. Printed in China. Hmm. Uh, well, that's it for this fan manual. I'm just about to go to sleep and hopefully get all my brain cells back that I lost while reading this manual. Goodbye.